Hey guys, welcome to the channel. In today's short video, we'll look at ways to remove dried tar and oil stains from concrete. I'll show you several approaches that can work and one in particular that works great. The first question is, how did it get that way in the first place? The oil probably came from the engine of a parked car or maybe from a botched oil change. The tar, well, probably from a spill. If it happened a long time ago, it has solidified, and as you will see, that can make the removal easier. Why does it need to be removed? One reason is that you're just tired of looking at it, but the more likely reason is that the concrete is old, spalling, cracked, pockmarked, and you'd like to resurface it. Polymer-modified, concrete-based resurfacing materials are a modern miracle that go on with the consistency of pancake batter and harden like a rock, providing years of new service. If it sticks to the old concrete, and that's the kicker. The very first line of instructions for the resurfacing materials say that the old surface must be dry, clean, and free of tar and oil, so the tar and oil will have to go. Let's look at some ways to remove oil and tar. They might work for you if the affected area is small, and if the buildup of oil, and especially tar, is not too great. Stay tuned though, because after that, I'll show you a method that works every time. The first chemical approach to cleaning concrete is to wet it thoroughly with mineral spirits. Let that dissolve the oil and tar for about 30 minutes, and then sprinkle it with a lot of sawdust, or even better, cat litter. Non-clumping litter with clay works the best. Sweep up the sawdust or cat litter, and some or maybe all of the oil or tar stain will be removed. If the stain is thick, this method won't work with one application, and maybe not at all. It can also cause a thick layer of tar especially to seep even deeper into the concrete. If that happens, blot up the mess with paper towels and switch to another method. Another chemical to consider is muriatic acid. It etches the concrete and is effective in removing a very thin top layer of tar or oil. It's applied with a paintbrush and then scrubbed with a heavy steel brush. This stuff has dangerous vapors and will severely damage human tissue on contact, so chemical gloves, a respirator, and full face shield are absolutely essential. If the stain is thick or solid, the acid will never reach the concrete, and it won't help at all. The best chemical concrete cleaner I've found is called Goof Off. To use it, just vacuum the affected area and spread it about 1/8 of an inch thick with a 5-inch taping drywall knife. Leave it overnight to soak up the oil and tar. It will dry to a powder. Sweep up the remaining powder with a heavy broom and then rinse off anything that's left with water. It works well for oil, not as well for tar. It also does not work well if the oil or tar layers are very thick. The mechanical method involves using an electric or air tool to scrape the concrete clean. If you think this means using an oscillating tool and a scraper blade, forget it. The constant sideways motion of the blade on the concrete produces friction and heat, a lot of heat. The oil or tar will melt into an impenetrable goo, and the blade will be ruined in seconds. It simply does not work. The final method I promised to show is also mechanical. It involves chipping off the top layer of the concrete and removing it along with the dried oil and especially tar. The tool is a pneumatic chisel, also called a pneumatic impact hammer. This one is from Harbor Freight. It needs to be used with a wide chisel bit or it will punch holes in the concrete rather than abrade it. Be careful when buying the wide chisel blade, as there are many shank sizes, and styles. This one Amazon chisel blade will fit the Harbor Freight pneumatic impact hammer. The pneumatic impact hammer and wide chisel bit are used with an air compressor, and unlike, for example, air nailers, these use a lot of air. This one uses 4 cubic feet at 90 psi and will heavily tax a medium-sized pancake compressor. The tool will only run for 15 or 20 seconds before the pressure drops and the compressor motor kicks in. You can work with this, but slowly. It throws chips and dust everywhere, and the compressor is loud, so use goggles, gloves, hearing protection, and eye protection. Concrete dust is dangerous when inhaled, so don't just use a surgical mask or an N98 mask. Use a real respirator. Move the wide chisel blade from side to side in a sweeping motion. It's better to chip one area, switch to a different area, and then go back for a second pass at the first one. Don't dwell at length chipping the same area, or the bit may dig beyond the surface into the concrete and damage it. The final result looks like this, and it's ready for the application of resurfacing material after pressure washing. As you can see, it's pretty easy to remove oil and especially dried tar from concrete if you use the right tools and technique. All of the chemicals and tools mentioned are readily available either at home centers or at our beloved Harbor Freight. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you found this video to be helpful, do me a favor and give it a like. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button.